It's DoctorTale here. So this is the second time I have to record this video because my computer froze and it corrupted the file. So this is the second time I'm reacting to this, so this might not be a reaction now. So tell me you get scared. Oh, but I'm just...
5 scary things caught on camera. Relentless. A Union County, North Carolina family has had repeated problems with a young man stalking their 20-year-old daughter. The family has had the accused stalker, Logan Yorsenai, arrested 3 times. But he still keeps showing up at their house and leaving strange gifts. The girl's father says that Yorsenai went to high school with his daughter, but the two barely even know each other.
Never were friends, never were acquaintances.
In this particular incident, caught on camera, Yorsenai paces around the family's front porch for over 3 hours while they sleep. He is completely aware of the family's security camera. In fact, during the 3-hour creep session, he occasionally talks to the camera, spouting random nonsense.
The best moments are not captured on camera or pictures or anything like that. My name is Logan Anthony Yorsenai.
Yorsenai was finally arrested and sentenced to 5 years probation. He was also issued an order of no contact with the victim or her family. If he violates his probation, he will be sentenced to 8 years in prison. Backyard nightmare. Lisa McKenzie from Bridge End Wells began to notice strange things around the outside of her home. There were odd scratches on her back door, and she found a wire that had been bent into the shape of a hook. Lisa decided to set up a CCTV system to monitor her backyard. A few weeks later, she noticed that the gate to her back garden was open. At first, she simply dismissed it, thinking that the gate had probably been left open by one of her 2 children. But just to be safe, she decided to check the CCTV footage. She wasn't prepared for the shocking video.
Hey, Mom! Stop! Why would you do that? Seriously, why would you do that? Why would you do this? I like how he's the only one where you can see, like...
While Lisa and her 2 children had been sleeping upstairs, a
see
man
the
in a
pixels.
raincoat and gloves had been peeking through their windows with a flashlight, trying to force his way inside the back door of the home. Luckily, the man eventually gives up and leaves. Lisa McKenzie told the local news station, quote, "I was sick. I was shaking uncontrollably after watching the video." The creepy failed intruder has never been caught.
Oh my god.
Naked Reagan. On New Year's Eve, Danielle Yancey and her husband had a very unexpected visitor. A naked man wearing only a Ronald Reagan mask and a sock. And let's just say that the sock wasn't on his foot.
Thank you for that. Why would you do this? What? I know it's there, but...
The man opens the gate to their porch and then skulks around outside, peering through windows. Danielle Yancey, who was one of the stars of the Bravo reality TV series Jersey Belle, says that the man was scared away when her husband spotted him through the window. After the video went viral, Yancey posted to Facebook that the young man came back to her house to apologize, saying that it was just a drunken dare from his friends and that he had no sinister motives. Water creeper.
this is supposed to fly. Where do people do this crap? Where do
One morning, San Diego, California resident Tina Gagne found an empty bottle of poisonous plant fertilizer on her family's front porch. She checked her Ring doorbell camera and was shocked by what she found. The surveillance video showed a man walking onto their porch in the dark of night, just outside their door. Gagne said that they didn't know the man and had never even seen him before. He proceeds to open the water bottle on their front porch and poured poisonous plant fertilizer inside.
3 sensors. Yeah, just there you go. Huh? Is that in the video? Okay.
Tina Gagne says she called police, but surprisingly, she was told by a dispatcher that they wouldn't even be sending an officer out to investigate the incident since nothing was stolen. So, Tina Gagne posted the video to Facebook, where it immediately went viral. The incident got national media attention.
A family in Rolando Village makes a troubling discovery on their
The
security
police won't do
camera.
anything.
What they saw a man doing to the water bottle left on their porch not only angered them, it was downright scary.
Well, San Diego police detectives want answers in what we now know is a felony poisoning case.
The back of the bottle says that even getting it on your hands can cause skin irritation, so I can only imagine what would happen if we drank it.
Suddenly, the San Diego police were much more interested in
Really? Because it's on the news. Because, look at this. Because it's on the news. You, police department, go to it now. What? Why would you not go to it in the first place? When a girl needs help, help them.
the case. They began an investigation, and the man in the video is currently being sought after by detectives on a charge of, quote, felony poisoning. Stalker casual. A man dressed in a t-shirt, shorts, and a baseball cap was seen stalking around a family home in Brisbane, Australia. The family decided to install a camera to capture the night creeper in the act. Weeks later, they finally caught the stalker on tape. In the video, the man can be seen walking up to the home and then crawling along the ground to peer into the window of a female resident. The unedited video goes on for over 20 minutes as the man prowls around outside the home. At one point, the creepy stalker can be seen running over to hide behind a truck as a car passes on the road. He then returns to the window before making an exit. He almost seems to be awkwardly tiptoeing away from the scene. The stalker has still never been caught.
So I hope you all enjoyed the video. No. We're gonna watch another thing. Another scary thing. So I'm going to cut. So here, ready? In another video, next video. Okay, now we're gonna watch top 5 Unsolved Mysteries and Unexplained Events.
The top 5 unsolved mysteries. Mysterious visitor. Before we get to all the murder and mayhem in this list, here's an unsolved mystery that simply fits into the extremely creepy category. So for several nights in a row, a Reddit user gets repeated alerts from his door motion sensor that movement has been detected. However, every time he checks the notification images, there's nothing there. So he just assumes it's a neighborhood pet setting off the detector, or perhaps a malfunction. Finally, after the third night, the man checks his alert and finds this disturbing picture from his front door. A strange late-night visitor who appears to be wearing an odd mask. Even creepier, notice the times on the alerts. They occur around midnight, then again a full 4 to 5 hours later, around 4 a.m. So, who was this person, and why was he hanging around outside the man's home all night long, seemingly in a mask? The Reddit user reports that after this picture, the mysterious visitor never returned again. The head in the woods.
That's creepy as hell. Oh, that is actually creepy as hell. Like, that is actually creepy and... Oh god, so creepy. Why would... I'm not gonna ask. Because they were sick mind. They were sick mind. Oh god.
In Economy, Pennsylvania, a teenager is strolling through the woods when he makes a grisly discovery: the dismembered head of an old woman. But that's not where the weirdness stops, because when police investigate, they find that the head has been fully embalmed by someone. Not only that, but the eyes have been removed and replaced by rubber balls. Police artists compose sketches and even circulate pictures of a 3D sculpture of the woman's head. But no leads are ever found to the woman's identity or where the head came from. 1 year later, the investigation is stopped due to lack of evidence. Pennsylvania authorities buried the head in an unmarked grave in the local cemetery. To this day, no one knows who the woman is or what happened to her body. BC Beach Feet. On February 9, 2016, a family was walking along Botanical Beach in British Columbia, Canada. They find a shoe washed up on the shore. Nothing strange about that, except that the shoe still has a severed human foot inside. But it gets even stranger than that, because this is the 13th human foot to wash up on the beach of British Columbia in the past 10 years. Theories about the origin of the feet run from murdered bodies dumped into the ocean to suicides and deaths at sea. But no one is quite sure on the exact explanation or why the British Columbia beach in particular seems to attract these grisly discoveries. Morgellons disease. Morgellons disease is a very rare and controversial illness. Sufferers report the strange sensation of what feels like bugs crawling under their skin. Other symptoms include chronic fatigue, skin sores, and oddest of all, threads or fibers that actually appear underneath the skin. In 2012, the US Center for Disease Control said that they believed that Morgellons wasn't an actual physical disease at all, but was simply a mental illness. They suggested that the fibers were likely lint that had gotten into exposed wounds. However, tens of thousands of Morgellons disease sufferers, including singer Joni Mitchell, insist that the disease is very real. On websites and help forums, sufferers post very compelling photos of the strange fibers that they say appear under their skin. Lab analysis of some of the Morgellon fibers defy all description.
Whatever the cause, there is something strange about the fibers. Forensic scientist Ron Pogue at the Tulsa Police Crime Lab checked a Morgellon sample against the 100,000 known fibers in the FBI's national database.
No match at all. So this is some strange stuff.
Not cotton, not linen, not any known natural or synthetic fiber.
But despite reported cases of the illness dating back at least 16 years, Morgellons disease has never been officially recognized or classified as either a physical or mental illness. 4,000-mile death punch. On July 5th, 1996, in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada, a 31-year-old man named Blair Adams suddenly leaves his job, removes all of his cash from his bank accounts, and begins one of the strangest escape attempts of all time. I say escape attempt because Blair Adams had repeatedly claimed to friends that someone was trying to kill him and that he had to get out of town immediately. First, Blair Adams tries to cross the border into the US, but he's turned away by suspicious border guards. Next, he buys a one-way ticket to Frankfurt, Germany, leaving the next day. But apparently Adams is too afraid to wait for his flight to Germany, so instead he once again tries to cross the US border. This time, he succeeds. Adams then drives nearly 500 miles to Seattle, where he purchases another plane ticket and flies across the US to Washington, D.C. From Washington, he then drives another 500 miles to Knoxville, Tennessee. In total, Blair Adams has now traveled nearly 4,000 miles from his home in Canada. In Knoxville, Adams checks into a hotel room. Now, so far, this just sounds like the crazed trip of a delusional man. But this is where things get really strange. At 7:37 p.m., Adams leaves his hotel room. The next day, Blair Adams is found dead in a parking lot a half a mile from his hotel room. He has been violently stripped from the waist down. Oddly, the thousands of dollars in cash that he was carrying is not missing, but instead is scattered all around his dead body. Weirdest of all, Blair Adams' cause of death is determined to be one single massive blow to the stomach. Pathologists say he received a single punch, kick, or unknown impact to his midsection that was so powerful that it actually ruptured his stomach. The strange case of Blair Adams is still unsolved.
Yep. That's all for this video. Hope you liked the video and share it, as you know, as linked in the description. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.